Hi, Steve Gamache with a Chef Knives to Go quick look product video on the Shun Classic 8-inch chef's knife. Mark should have an overview video of the line on his classic product page where I've done some generalities on the series instead of having to do them over and over for each individual video, so please take a look at that if you're interested. This line of knives has a core steel of VG10 stainless at a heat treat of about 60 to 61 Rockwell, and the construction is a multi-layered stainless Damascus cladding over the top of that VG10 core. So you'll see the core steel at the edge exposed on both sides and the layers of cladding as well with a kind of a mirror polish finish on it. The weight on this knife is 7.5 ounces or 214 grams, so it's not real light, but it has a more Western weighted handle. The blade length is 8.25 inches, so 210, so it's just around a 210 on the edge if you consider the entire arc of the blade, and the overall length is about 13.5 inches. The spine, up right above the heel, is about 2.4 inches, and it pretty much carries that. Let me get the camera to kick in here. It pretty much carries that most of the way through until you hit the grind of the blade right about here, and then boom, down towards the edge. So it holds that thickness pretty much most of the spine. The blade height is 46.7 millimeters here at the heel. And then the handle type, they're on their larger knives, it's a 2 7/8 inch, slightly under 3 inch size handle with their standard right hand bias D-shaped handle with real nice fit and finish, and bolstered kind of WA style and weighted as a Western, but shaped like more like an Eastern, or I should say a WA style handle. The profile on this is their hallmark, Shun's hallmark, curved kind of German style belly profile to the knife. So you've got a flat spot towards the rear, and then you've got quite a bit of the knife has a fairly pronounced curve or belly to it towards the tip. So you can kind of see the spine of the knife really doesn't go down too much to meet the edge. The edge more comes up to meet the spine and gives you a more pronounced curve. So if you like to rock, cut, and glide and rock quite a bit, this is a really nice design for those of you who like that technique. The blade is thin behind the edge. These are good performing blades. I got a chance to try this one out a bit, and it really drops through food quite nicely. It's a good all-around performing knife with some weight to it. It's just a nice performer. The fit and finish is really tight on it. It has a nice edge bevel out of the box. It could use some tooth to it, but it's a nicely cut edge bevel, very consistent from knife to knife. The overview video, I talk a little bit more about the tooth on the edge. Balance point is just right about here at the bolster. Works pretty good actually for a pinch grip or a little further back. And just a nicely executed knife. So to just kind of give you an illustration of the difference in the belly or the profile of the blade, here's a real standard Japanese, more kind of French Japanese styled profile, a Fujiwara FKM stainless, and you'll see how this has a much more gentle curve to it up through the tip. And if I kind of get these parallel to each other as best as I can, you'll see how the spine drops down more towards the tip versus this one holds that spine most of the way, drops a little bit, but the blade edge comes up more to meet that versus the spine coming down at the same time. And so this has a much more gentle curve to it versus the Shun. So nothing's right or wrong here. It just depends on the particular style. So for some people, the flatter style of the Japanese blade is not something they're as comfortable with, and they want something that has more belly so they can rock it more because that's a technique they've grown accustomed to, in which case this is a nice transition to a thin, harder blade with better steel and really nice cutting qualities, but with some belly to it if you like that style. So there you have the Shun Classic 8-inch chef's knife. Hi, Steve Gamache with a Chef Knives to Go quick look product video on the Shun Classic 8-inch chef's knife. Mark should have an overview video of the line on his classic product page where I've done some generalities on the series instead of having to do them over and over for each individual video, so please take a look at that if you're interested. This line of knives has a core